Now time to start putting things back on the frame. Center stand's a good place to start, or at least start filming. Previously I'd already put the swing arm back on, as well as the kickstand and the brake stay. So this shouldn't be too complicated, in theory. So, since it's already been painted, ready to go, and I've already cleaned up all the little spacers and bushings, I'm just going to put a little smear of grease over the bushings that it rides on. Not because it really needs the lube to function, but more to keep them from corroding. And it's a heavy enough bike, so any help that I can get swinging it down to the center stand is all the better. I'll put a little bit onto the smooth portions of the bolts as well. Just like that. So, center stand. Grab our nut, our bolt, and the spacer. Put the spacer in the sleeve on both sides. The nice thing about grease, it helps it stay in place. They don't slide out and fall out all over the place. Like that. Grab our bolt and put it in. One and number two. Okay, there we go. And both the nuts. We tighten them down. Now they're nylocks, so you don't have to go crazy tight on them. They will hold on their own. There we go. I don't have a spring for it yet. It was missing when I got the bike, and I haven't ordered it yet. So for now, that's the center stand out of the way. Well, I also think it's time that the front wheel went on this thing. Despite not having the Speedo drive for it yet, it's easy enough to change. So, you can see I already had the steering head bearings in. I did that some time ago, and totally forgot to film it. But it wasn't terribly exciting or complicated, so that's the way she goes. So as you can see, I already have the new roller bearings installed, so it's nice and smooth. Highly recommended doing that. The needle bearings in this, the little ball bearings in this thing were shot. So, yeah, let's get to her. Already have the forks all polished up and rebuilt. I resealed them. What I am going to do is on the top section that doesn't get ridden by the seals. You can see on this one here where it sits in the clamp where it rusted and pitted at the top here. I'm going to smear grease over this. Any part of the section that gets ridden up and down will scrape the grease clean. Anywhere that doesn't will just have a protective coating on it to keep it from rusting any further. It's a little suggestion I saw online, and I thought it was a really good idea. I'm just using some general purpose grease here. It's absolutely nothing special. Just happens to be what I had laying around. For this, more than adequate. Doesn't need gobs on there, we're just looking to keep a film on it. Just like that. See, I've got a nice film of grease over the top. And I've gone down a little bit here just to ensure that it's all covered. Set that aside. Somehow, so as not to get grease on everything. And do the same thing to the second one. Which is in much nicer shape than the other one, because this one I had to replace. The original fork tube for this side was very pitted, which I was initially going to repair, which you can do using super glue to fill the pits, and you polish it smooth just to keep the seals from eating themselves. However, I managed to source one locally for, I think I paid $20 or less for it, which is probably what the super glue would have cost me, the high quality stuff. So it didn't make sense to do that. So there we go, all nice and greased up. So we're just going to get these in here temporarily held in place so that I can get the top clamp on and everything where it should be. So get that up in there. Take a rough guess at where it's going to sit. And just give the bolt a little snug, just so it doesn't go anywhere. Same for the other side. Like that.